Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And Scottish education is likely to take a very sharp downturn, thanks to physical attacks and sexual attacks, it must be said, within the classroom. There are many people leaving the profession, not just teachers, but the support staff, and of course things like ancillary staff, secretaries and caretakers, all sorts of people not wanting to work in Scotland's schools anymore. One of the problems, of course, is that head teachers are no longer allowed to remove pupils from their schools, no matter how much trouble they cause. And so if you're a teacher or support worker in a school, you could be attacked. Go to the head teacher, say that this is unacceptable, demand that child be removed, and the head teacher saying no. And so you'd have to carry on working in an environment with people surrounding you who have attacked you. It cannot be right. Personally, I think you can claim the Health and Safety at Work Act. You can sit at home on full pay and say, I will not return until this obvious danger has been removed from my working environment. The teacher and the local authority, the head teacher and the local authority are by law obliged to sort this out. How they do it is a problem, but it's their problem, not the teacher's problem. So let's have a look to see why so many are leaving the profession and what is likely to happen in the near future. Here goes. So Scots schools could see exodus of support staff due to classroom physicality and attacks, warns the GMB union. The GMB said classroom assistants and others who were facing as much physical and verbal abuse as teachers. So you get your assistants, you get secretaries, like say caretakers, janitors, that sort of maintenance people, that sort of thing. And they're getting abused, attacked and whatever in schools. They don't need it, they don't want it. But the schools can do nothing about it because they're not allowed by law to exclude children. Escalating violence in Scotland schools will drive out dedicated staff unless urgent action is taken, a trade union has warned. The GMB said classroom assistants and other support workers were facing as much physical and verbal abuse as teachers, leaving many on the brink of quitting. And of course, once they go, they're not coming back. And people won't want the job, knowing that, well, why is the last person left? Oh, because little Johnny over there wouldn't stop beating them up. Why would you take the job, knowing you're next? A survey by the union of its members working in school support roles relieved 1 in 5 had reported violence as a daily issue, while warning that 60% of incidents were never even recorded. The council has led the way in calling for councils and the Scottish Government to get to grips with the issue as part of the Our Kids, Our Future campaign. This, of course, is down to bad parenting, ultimately. It comes as head teachers will soon be encouraged to ban the use of mobile phones in their classrooms under new guidance to be issued by Jenny Gilruth, the Education Secretary. Bring back the cane. The Record has reported on numerous examples of sickening violence in and around schools, which have been filmed and shared on social media by youngsters. Many of the video clips remain on sites such as Facebook or YouTube for days before they're finally removed, traumatising the victims even further. Just remove those who do it. Just take them out, gone, fine. I had a teacher years ago, a little aside, but I had a teacher years ago whose wonderful trick when someone misbehaved in class was to go outside and he'd send them out to class. And then they'd go out and stand in the corridor and they'd go, and then look through the window and all that. And the teacher would carry on for a few minutes. And then the teacher would put down the chalk, whatever, walk up to the door, open the door and say, what are you doing? He said, you sent me outside. I said, yes, said the teacher. Out, go out. I don't want you even standing here. Go away, go find something to do. And at that moment, they were lost. They didn't know what to do. It was okay. Oh, God, stay outside. I'll stand and look through the door and go, ooh, make moody faces and things. Once they were told, no, you've got to go. You've got to find someone. Go. Don't care where you go. Just go away. They were lost. They didn't know what to do. Screwed with their tiny little minds. Genius teacher. Anyway, GMB Scotland delegate, it was an interesting aside, but it's pertinent, Anyway, it's GMB Scotland delegate Karen Dennis told the STUC Congress in Dundee yesterday the level of threats and assaults endured by support staff was intolerable, and she demanded urgent action. She said, without more safeguards and better reporting and investigation, our schools will lose excellent staff along with their skills and experience, And we know for a fact this is already happening. There are massive recruitment problems in Scottish schools because people don't want to go and work there. They see the problems. And because they're understaffed, that means there's even more work per capita. If you go and work in an understaffed school, you're going to be lumped down. It's not as though you're only replacing the one person and there was adequate cover. You're going into a job which you're going to have to cover all the other places that aren't yet filled. It's horrendous workload. It's horrendous pressure. She said they are working to give our young Scots the best possible education and life chances, but everyone has a breaking point. And being punched in the face repeatedly, day in, day out, is probably it. And that's before you even get to the sexual assaults which happen. She said only urgent action and greater protection will stop many of our members leaving their profession. And you've got to feel sorry for them, not just the teachers. It is the teachers, obviously, yes, getting the brunt of it, but the support staff, the teaching assistants, as I say, anyone, dinner ladies, everyone who gets abused needs to report it. It needs to go in. There needs to be formal reporting, names, events, everything. These figures then must be published. And you've got to stop treating these kids as kids and say the moment they commit a crime, you report it and you get the police involved. And when the police are having to go to the parents for the 12th time or whatever, the courts get fed up and start jailing the parents for failing to control their children. GMB members in Aberdeen recently called on the local council to provide improved training and reporting procedures months after staff in the Highlands called for similar action in their region's schools. Dennis added, pupil support assistants are paid less than the teachers, but are often bearing the brunt of abuse and violence. No one should be asked to leave for work, fearing physical or verbal abuse, and return relieved if they are unharmed. Quite right too. It's a day of work, not a day of getting beaten, The union wants more rigorous reporting procedures to ensure every incident is recorded and a wider clampdown on verbal and physical abuse. If the head teachers had the ability to say, right, gone, you're out, go, pick up your stuff and leave this school, never return. Let her into the local authority, let her home to the parents, please keep Johnny at home today, he can return to school, never. Date of return, never. Go, find other school arrangements. That'll be a problem. Why are you throwing Johnny out? Because he's a bastard. And that's it. We're not having him. Behaviour is unacceptable. And then show them the list of 30 reports or whatever. Dennis continued, more responsibility is being placed on our members to support some of the most challenging pupils, but employers have failed to even properly record the threats and assaults. Our members are still waiting for official advice and guidance on how to deal with these incidents, never mind effective and adequate protection. It's not up to the teachers to be dealing with this. If this is an issue like that, it's a police matter. Call the police. Arrest the kids. Take them down the station. Keep them. Charge them. Take them home to their parents. Or rather, call the parents, tell the parents to come and get them. And throw them in the cell. I don't want to drop anyone in it, but a person who may or may not have been my son, I received on a Friday night a phone call from the police. He'd been out and about, nothing serious, a bit drunk and disorderly really. But he'd been out and about and picked up, and I got a phone call. He would have been about 17, so he was just under the age, and they gave me the call, do you want to come down and collect him? And I looked at the clock and it was 10:30 on Friday night. I went, no, I'll be there in the morning. I could have gone down and bailed him. Nah. Much better for him to spend the night kicking his heels, cooling off in a jail cell. I tell you what, I've never had to do it again. Abject lesson learnt. Strike ones for the home team. Anyway, it comes to the poll found that that an overwhelming majority of people do not want children to have access to smartphones in classrooms. And a survey by Norstat for the Times found that 90% of voters believe pupils should either only be able to access their phones at lunch or break times or not have them in the school buildings at all. Not sure. Sometimes there is a call. We are living in the modern world. It's not the 1850s. I believe, yes, they should have them. You never know what access is needed, especially if there's vulnerable people involved or there's caring, things like that. But yes, not allowed in to be used in class time. Breaks and lunchtime, fine. Outside of that, no. Anyway, Scottish Government around this stuff. The Scottish Government said Scotland schools should be safe learning environments for all. Violence and abusive behaviour towards our pupils or staff is completely unacceptable. It may be unacceptable, of course, but it happens an awful lot, which is why so many people are leaving. Sort it out. bring the police in, report the crimes, and let the head teachers throw these little bastards out. Make it the problem of the parents. Coming up. How long will it be before schools just literally run out of teachers, run out of staff, because there is no discipline in the schools and no way of administering discipline? You can't beat them. You can't throw them out. You can't suspend them. I suppose really ultimately what you need to do is just hire ex-soldiers to teach in schools. Let's see the little buggers try that on then. With some great big old boy going, "Shut down, you bugger," and start doing it like some sergeant major. That would frighten them. Put the fear of God in them. Make them run. Bit of Borstal, that's what we need. Bring back the Borstals. You know, nothing else, it keeps them busy. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Do please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment. Please share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and I will speak to you later. Bye.